Hello everybody, Robert here. Welcome to the bonus tutorial content for the uPlanIt demo and workshop webinar. I'm going to spend a few minutes here answering your Components tab questions. So after we've logged in, you're presented here at your dashboard. If you're a board member or a manager of only one property, it'll take you directly into that property. But here I'm going to select it. I'll select one that should be familiar to you. It's the one I demonstrated with in the webinar, Sample 5 Building Townhome. So you drop in here and you see the completed reserves A documents, if any, user accounts, and uPlanIt. And a reminder for how long you have access through your budget season. And starting at the top, Unit 206, is that because it's at the end of life? I'm assuming the no funding evaluation. No, that's a bad assumption. It's not funded because for some reason they felt it was inappropriate for reserve funding. Maybe it's not theirs. Maybe that entry concrete belongs to the city. Maybe they maintain it from the operating budget. When something is at the end of its life, you'll see a remaining useful life of 0. So that's item 206 is not funded for some reason that we just don't see here. Next question, can you fund an unfunded component? Well, you can edit it and give it 15 years useful life, 5 years remaining useful life, $10,000 replacement cost, and save it. So you can give it numbers, but as long as it's not funded, it will not appear in your component list. Let me show you. So we've got 206 stamped concrete. Let's go to the component list, component details, and you do not see stamped concrete. It's not there to be funded. It's not going to appear as an expense. See 206, it's just not there because we've literally turned it off. To fund it, you have to edit it and turn the funding on. Okay, now we can go here, look at components. 206 is there, 15 years useful life, 5 years left, $10,000. And let's see, 5 years left. Look at it here, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 206, stamped concrete, there it is. Okay. Can those with view-only permission leave notes for editing? No, those with view-only permission do not have access to uPlanIt, so they can't even get in. Are the notes visible to everyone with access or just to the person who added the note? The notes that you add are visible to everyone. And let's back out of that. We funded stamped concrete, and we funded it because we found out we own and maintain this. That's why we funded it. Okay, so you can leave notes, and everyone who has access to uPlanIt, I can't stand for typos. Everyone who has access sees these notes. So this is a way one person can communicate with another person, or maybe this is the way you document the edits, the changes that you've made to the components. Can you sort the components column, say, if you want to see everything that has to be done this year? The answer is no. There's no sort here. If you click on remaining useful life, it will not sort. Same thing with useful life, same thing with cost. The only sort is the component number. That's just the way it is at this time. That may be a future development, but at this point in time, we wanted to keep uPlanIt very simple, and so it sorts only by the component column. Next question, can you set component numbers or change the order? Well, absolutely. Let's say I don't like this. We have two 1107s, and let's say I want to see the iron fence replacement line item right by the iron fence repaint line item. Okay, Iron fence replace is 503. You see there's an available number, 504. It tolerates duplicates, but let's put this down at 504, okay? So let's just edit it to make this 504. Save, watch the magic. And we have the iron fence and rail both at the same place. Now notice that there's something else going on here. We have 300 and some feet of total replacement, whereas the iron fence here that they're repainting is only 110 feet, so there's something else going on, but that's a different question. And the idea of can you renumber and reorder, I just showed you how to do that. Next question, can you drag and drop items onto the list on the list rather than changing the item number? No. Again, we kept it very simple. The way to change the order of things, there's no dragging. We just have a very simple sort by component ordering. Can you move a component from one chapter to another? And the answer is no. Again, simplicity. We didn't create this with the ability to do that kind of manipulation. We wanted to keep it very simple. So by chapters, we can add another chapter here. Let's name this one a little bit better. General common areas. And if we want to add a chapter, what would be nice? Let's call it the pool area. Pool and spa area. You might think it would be nice to just push the pool and spa assets over to this other chapter. But again, that's a layer of complexity that we just haven't built into this tool. So you'd have to add the components one by one, delete them one by one from the other chapter. Next question, can a component that has a replacement after X amount of years be split into separate components to cover this over multiple years? Absolutely. Let's find a big expense, maybe a roof project or something. Actually, that's kind of what's been done here. Already the flat roof area has been split into multiple line items to spread this out and isolate them for potentially being handled at different years. But let's do the shingle roof. Right now it's one large $110,000 expense. Let's create another 1303 and we can split this component. So the way you do that, add a component. Something like that. You can see it by default wants to put it at the end, but I can change it, and let's just do that. And now we should have two comp shingle roof line items. I can move, basically reduce this first one by half, put that cost into the second one, and you see how you can do that. So you can create a phase one and a phase two. That's how you would manage that type of issue. Next question, to phase a component, must one have different components, not just phase definition? Yes, you need different components. To spread something out over the years, you need one component per year. That's National Reserve Study standards. You need to identify what's going on. It's not like you can't give it a range of 7 to 10 years or something like that. You need to give each one a different unique useful life, remaining useful life, and cost. Now they can be similar. Like here you have the center building and the east building of the flat roof are on the same cycle. and there's got to be some historical reason for having them possibly be separate projects, but you can see here they're set up to be done at the same year. So phasing, giving yourself multiple components for the same type of project, gives you flexibility to customize. Okay, next question. When you change the funding from yes to no, do you also have to change the useful life? No. Let's say we just added this and it was just kind of the start of an idea. Let's effectively gray this one out so it's a non-issue. You can see that now we only have one comp shingle roof component that is going to be funded. This one is grayed out, so it's not handled or not addressed in component funding. And your initial thoughts about useful life, remaining useful life, and replacement costs and notes are still there. So you don't have to change the useful life when you change the funding from yes to no. Another question, why would you add a component? Shouldn't it already be on the list because it was in the reserve study? Or is it the result of a capital expense? Okay, you would add a component generally when you want to phase something and split a project into multiple smaller projects. You may also want to add a component if it was previously handled through the operational budget and now it's a reserve projects. For instance, if you used to handle, what's a good example, the patio furniture around the pool on a onesie-twosie type basis from the operating budget, and now you realize that hasn't worked. They all look lousy. We need to do this proactively every 5 or 6 years. You could either add the component or turn the funding on, and let's do this. Let's call it every 8 years, and it looks lousy. Let's get it done now. And 18 pieces, rough numbers, $500 a piece, so that's $9,000. And the comments was, operational now reserves. And so you would either add a component or add funding for it, or maybe it was absolutely human error and it was missed. A third tot lot that was the board member just never walked out that direction of the property and never knew there was a third tot lot. So there are reasons to add a new component to the component list. And now it's there, and now it's more accurate.